Hello, I'm the Chief Advisor here at the Perfect Person Call Center, where your problems are our solutions. We are so excited to announce a stunning new initiative. You can now wear the official Perfect Person uniform, scientifically guaranteed to increase the amount of vitamin P in your bloodstream, eliminating pesky problems like running into your ex at the grocery store or bringing a bad soup to a company potluck.
My bestie sabotaged my Instagram post, but with Miles' help, I'm 100% over it. Like, for real.
I went on a date to the movies, and I got so nervous, I threw up. But after my call with Miles, I decided to be the one to apologize.
I screamed myself hoarse at my workplace crush, but with Miles' help, I think we're getting tacos.
I had night terrors. But after Miles' help, my roommate is legally required to feed me to sleep.
I've helped thousands of people, and now it's time I help you.
We can leave this place whenever we want to. Join us.
Join us!
Join us.
Join us. It's time to ascend to perfection.
This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person.
He's thinking. Loading.
You can't think of one.
This morning I moved my towel. It was on a sort of clumping hook, and now it's on a long
Now
drape.
explain to the listener what a clumping hook is.
So,
because I know.
Picture a hook, and then you put a wet towel on it, it's going to clump all up, not leaving enough airflow. It was the end of a fart sound effect. It feels like I started
That
a
was
while
a
ago.
beautiful
It was
noise.
just sort of a rumble. Anyway, but the clumping hook was not allowing my towels to dry, and I felt like the longer rack added more airflow to allow the towel to dry before I got into the shower again.
I have a huge story about this.
Okay, huge.
Because I want to know what you guys would have done in
Well,
this
obviously,
situation.
before you even tell the story, I'm here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao!
I want to say that you guys explicitly said you're going to nail the double chow.
No,
and I got to say that it was off.
I said we were going to hit chow hard. I didn't say we were going to nail the double chow.
Okay,
That's
wait.
very different.
Let's practice one more time.
Okay.
Introduce him.
And it's the Wrecking Ball crew.
Chow, Bella.
Okay, so he's adding. Will is adding. He's on a different frequency entirely.
I don't know how we messed that up. It should be easy.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to talk at the same time.
It's a
But
short
yeah.
word that Will made long.
What up? What up?
Made the compound.
Ciao. He took the shortest word, short and sweet, and made it
Okay,
long.
let's do it. Let's do it one more time.
Okay. Welcome to the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao!
A lot of lead up. So, Rainie, you had a big
Right.
story about the towel.
So I come home and there's my roommate has a visitor and there's a towel on my hook.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know her. So I'm like, well, I don't want to be passive aggressive and like put it on our dining room chair. I don't want to go into his room. Like, where do I put this towel? I don't want to put it on the floor. They weren't there. So I decided I will not touch it.
Okay.
And I got out of the shower. Hello? Did anybody come back? Hello? Had to run to my room to get my towel.
Sorry.
Okay, so I like this scene. You're like naked and like, hello,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anybody?
But
Yeah.
nobody was there.
And the people are like, from under
But
you.
my
are
question
like,
is, where would you put the towel?
So I guess I'm confused about what's going on entirely.
You only have two hooks.
There's two hooks.
Yeah.
Your towel was on the hook.
No, I keep my towel typically in my room.
So you're.
But when it's time to shower,
you pull it off and bring it.
and bring it and put it on my hook.
And so it was gone from your individual hook in your bedroom. No, there was a towel on your hook in the bathroom.
Welcome back to Towel Talk.
Yeah,
Welcome
it's
back to
good.
Towel
It's
Talk.
good.
Everybody.
Well, I want to make sure I have a lay of the land.
Yeah.
So Rainie and I'm putting myself in your headspace. I'm trying to take a shower.
Yeah.
But what's the problem?
There's a towel on my towel hook.
Okay, in the bathroom.
Yes.
So there's a towel on your towel hook
Now-
that's not your towel.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way the hook is in your bathroom, you're saying that you couldn't have taken her towel off, just temporarily put it on your roommate's towel, put yours up, gotten out, taken it, wrapped it around yourself, moved it back over.
Well, he has the bar.
And you have a clumping hook.
Yeah.
Got it.
I guess I don't know what a clumping hook is.
Okay, so the clumping hook, Will, thanks for asking, is a hook that when you put the wet towel on, it sort of clumps. It kind of like, it's only got one point of access, and so therefore the rest of the towel is going floomp into each other. So the wet folds are touching each other, and they're not leaving airspace to dry, especially when you put it in your closet.
And that's been towel talk.
And that's been towel talk. Well, anyway, gang, it's a pleasure to have you back in the studio. Rainie, you had a couple pitches for what you wanted the theme of today's episode to be. Sex and betrayal was...
Sex or betrayal.
Or sex or betrayal.
I thought it was an and, yeah.
We have a couple calls that are around those topics that I self-selected. But
oh my gosh.
You also said that you had a big story for today.
Yes, I said
So you can say no.
Well, I have a number of things. I actually do have a story.
Okay.
But first I want to get into
my gosh.
garb.
We haven't even talked
literally
about it.
forgot to say this. I think there'll probably be a trailer at the top of this episode as well, but I have Perfect Person merch. And it's very exciting.
Hold on, Miles, you got to get up and do a demo for the people.
I've got Perfect Person merch.
Woo! Show the back, baby. Yes.
From the back. There's awesome Perfect Person merch that I'm super excited to release. I'm doing it through Fanjoy, and you can click the link in the description of this video or in the audio version to go peep it and check it out if you want to wear gear from the show. I'm super proud of it. I feel like it kind of looks cool, and there's a lot of different options and styles. There'll definitely be more releases down the road as well, but this is kind of the first little hero launch of the brand.
So I'm also wearing a hoodie, and here's what I want to say about it.
Yeah?
I put it on, I put it on and immediately felt confident. And second, that's a big point that I'm going to come back to. Sub
Rainie's
1A
gonna sell this fucking merch.
is what I don't like is when I kind of sweat a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't like when it's too close on your armpit.
Oh, big time.
And this is so don't worry about that if you're about to buy. Now, the second thing I want to say is I was zhuzhed up in this.
Zhuzhing.
I was like, I need to take a photo because I look amazing. And so my question to you is, people are going to obviously feel the same.
Yeah.
How do you take a thirst trap in a hoodie?
Oh, that's really interesting. Now, I think probably you want to take it from below, as if you're in the phone is in the little well, and it's looking up at you.
You're talking like a creep shot?
No, not like an up skirt, but like you want to take it from below, being like, whoa, like look
That's
at me,
very Gen Z.
look at me, I'm so big.
Yeah.
I'm so tall and big.
Is that Gen Z? Gen Z's tall and big?
Gen Z
They like
loves
the
that.
angles. They like
loves
the
that.
angles.
I tell you what.
They love like a low angle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more flattering.
But no, I'm happy with it. I feel like it's cool. I think it's also fun because now that I have like all this stuff set up, I am obviously going to do like stuff down the line, and I'm excited to do stuff that's like really out of pocket all of a sudden. Like here's like some design that can be immersive, and there's only like 100 of them.
Oh yeah.
And it also like once I do this, it allows me to do like a bunch of other stuff if this all goes well. So hit the link if you want to have the sweet
And you
merch,
do want it.
and you actually do
And
want it.
I will say, like, I demand either a free version or a discount because I would
absolutely
like one.
not. Will's paying full price,
damn
if
it.
not double.
I mean, I'm the one who didn't get one, you know?
I will say not to really toot my own hog, but I think that, okay, excuse me.
Okay.
And I know that you're in the checkout, you're about to buy it, and me saying that is actually you are deleting the page. But I do think that the brand lends itself to be a shirt that does not have anything to do with the show.
Yeah.
So it's like
No, exactly.
perfect person
It's
on a
just
shirt,
cool.
looks cute.
Well, and that was, when you were talking through titles with me, like a long time ago, you talked through it with many people, but like, that was always why I liked this title because it just works as on a shirt, like perfect person.
right.
You don't have to go, what is that? You know?
It also makes it seem like I'm a perfect person.
Well,
Which
yeah.
is true, and I like
which is
that.
true. You
And
buy the merch.
all the listeners are perfect people. You talking to me, Willis?
Yeah. So, anyway, everyone, the phone's ringing off the goddamn hook, but Rainie has a story first.
I've got a story. So I have actually two, but they're related. Because I was thinking...
Brothers.
They're brothers. I was thinking of my flirt fails.
Oh my goodness, Rainie. Rainie's flirt fails?
Well, you don't need that. You could just call it Rainie's flirt fails. I think that sounds pretty good. I think that putting Franny in there isn't good.
I didn't mean to.
Well, that's what you said.
I said Rainie's flirt fails.
I mean, when you review the tape, you'll see it. Yeah.
And by the way, I do reveal that I do look at the tape. I look back at the tape in a security area.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Like, you feel like you fumbled a bag?
I fumbled a bag in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So in high school, I did this project where I interviewed like the grade below me, and there was this guy who was like hot shit, really hot.
Whoa.
And he was in a math class.
Math is hot.
The hottest
And at the
class.
end,
Hottest class.
I was like, oh yeah, let me know if you ever need help with math.
You said that?
Yeah.
That's
and
cool flirting.
It was weird. I still think about it.
How did you say it? Because you could have said it in a cool way or in a bad way that was not flirty. So tell us. So,
oh yeah, let me know. I mean, I think it was. I was trying to be flirty. It
and
was like
how did
wildly
you?
confident.
And so you said it like what? 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, let me know if you ever want any help with math.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
I see what you are concerned about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think that we all have these things that we said that we had that echo in our brains, or anyone with any degree of empathy or like self-consciousness, you like remember an embarrassing thing you said but I guarantee you, if you talk to this person today, they would be like, I do not remember.
I don't
that.
remember. I don't recall it.
I
It's
hope
literally
so.
living in your head, and it's not living in their head.
Yeah.
And I'll say, if you said it like this, like what I'm about to do,
Yeah.
then this might have.
And
like,
this is how we
and
elevate.
this is, I think, like probably how you wanted it to sound in your head.
Yeah.
But let me know if you need any help with math. Like sort of in a like coy little like and I hate to say it, but almost like a
You probably need help with math.
yeah, no, like in
So this is giving me a great idea for a rom-com called 2 + 2 = Kissing.
yeah, almost in an Elizabeth Olsen type of way.
That's right. Yeah.
Sort of just like a hey, let me know if you need help with math.
See, that's confidence.
You know what I mean?
I
And then
think,
you're walking
yeah.
down the hall sashaying with your backpack.
I think I was trying to be in a movie, but I think it's just hard when you're 17 to be in
Oh
a
yeah,
movie.
you can't be confident
And I
when
would
you're
actually
17.
say that my feeling in general, not that you asked me, but
no,
my
of
feeling in
course.
general is that it's hard to have the confidence to like approach somebody and be direct, especially when the norms are so like men pursue women, yada yada.
Yeah.
But like looking back, if you were just more direct, I guarantee you guys would have gone on a date. Just saying.
Let me know if
Like,
you need any help with
Math doesn't give me anything. That's just like, oh, that's kind of weird.
As a man, you're sort of like, okay, if I
I'm
need
an
help with
idiot.
math,
Yes,
I'll ask
I'm
her.
stupid. Math does not mean, it's like when George and Seinfeld, it's like, she asked me up for coffee, and I said no because it was too late. Coffee doesn't mean coffee. Coffee is sex.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's like instead of being like, hey, if you need me to tutor you
If you need me to tutor you in whatever.
and whatever, I'm avail.
Miles, we should make like an AI version of like you being like a sexy tutor.
Hey, I'm here to help you with your calc homework.
You've got the ACT in 3 weeks.
The ACT's on the way and your parents are putting pressure on you to do well.
Yeah, it becomes like a very like
Let me get us
mundane
another
drama.
cupcake.
Okay, what's the second story?
So the second story, in college, I went on this Bumble date with this guy, really weird vibe. But then I was like, he's still hot. He sat behind me in physics, and that was interesting to me. And then
and just before you move on, what was interesting about that
Yeah.
to you?
he was just sort of in the he was sort of, well, first of all, he was like very pale. And so I was like, this
And
physics
that
ghost.
is sexy.
He's a Edward
Yeah.
Cullen
Baba
style.
boom.
Baba Boomy.
Yeah.
Edward Cullen style much?
Literally Edward Cullen. And so I think, when there's somebody who like doesn't talk, and so you can sort of like put who you want them to be on him.
Oh, it's like they're not mysterious, they're boring.
Or just
Like
like
that
I
sort
didn't
of
know,
thing?
like I never talked to him, but I was like, he's kind of cute. And then I had a semester of creating all these, ideas.
Oh yeah, I
Then-
did that.
yeah.
That was like my whole When I was
Yeah.
younger, I spent
Right.
a long time like building up people in my head as ideas, and then
Yeah.
like just
Actually, I've
just
got
go talk to them.
really intimate question.
Okay.
Whoa.
what were some fantasies that you had, not necessarily sexual, but
please make them not sexual. Sorry, I just got to cut you off there.
Explicitly not sexual.
Yeah.
But of a conversation that you had with somebody.
Whoa.
There's somebody who I had a huge crush on in college who I just thought she was but I never really interacted with her that much. And then I did, and I still thought she was really good looking, but basically she's just really boring as she's gotten older. I've heard from other people that I know that are she has a better looking boyfriend than me, but they just go antiquing all the time. I don't know. It's it wouldn't have worked out.
Okay, well, antiquing is really cool.
No, I'm not anti-antiquing.
Will, the comments are gonna be on fire.
I'm just saying, I don't remember a specific conversation. All I just remember is in my head, I thought of her as this, I had this huge crush on her, and I thought she was the greatest, but I had no information. So it was all just based on seeing somebody from across a small campus,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I had this big crush on this girl. We dated briefly my freshman year of high school, and then it was the summer in between, college. And it was the summer in between freshman and sophomore year of college. And I remember the whole thing. I kept thinking, she did not text me for the summer, for the entirety of the summer.
That's hot.
And I was really and I was oh my God, but all I wanted her to do is text me. And I kept having a fantasy of her being my phone was broken. Some sort of logical reason being of course, she obviously has a crush on me, but something weird happened with her plan.
100%. In adult life, I think that the thing that I have thought is did she die?
Oh, she died. Well, she probably had a crush on me and then died.
Right. It could be that she didn't like me. It's probably that she died.
It's probably that she's dead now. But anyway, so you went on a date with this guy.
Oh yeah, and then he okay, so I've actually thought about this a number of times. There's two options, because after the date, it sort of flopped, and that's where the flop is where we get into it. But I actually think it had flopped on the date, because there was two things that happened. There was this guy that everybody thought I was dating in college, who was a good friend of mine. And everybody, it was oh, you're Jordan's girlfriend. And I was no, we've never dated.
Sure.
I saw him and gave him a big hug when on the date. So I'm maybe he was threatened.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
And then the other thing was my nemesis's ex-boyfriend. We passed him and they said, hey.
No.
And I'm I wonder if he said something.
You think your nemesis's ex-boyfriend said something to the guy from your class? Did they know each other?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They were in the same frat.
But
you talking to me, Willis?
So, but you didn't want to date this person anyway, or you did?
No, I actively did. I did.
Oh, but you did, and then he didn't want to date you.
Yeah. So but here's a third option is where I flopped. Is I was texting him and I was oh yeah, if you ever want to hang out again, and he was oh yeah, hang on, I'm studying, and then I showed my friend, and she was well, if you ever need a study break, and it was just too much, and then he was okay. And then I never talked to him again.
I will say that's, what's interesting about that is you're acting in good faith. That's a move to not play the game. You're being well, yeah, if you need a study break, that's great. I don't actually think that is too much. I think he just wasn't too much. He just wasn't the right person to receive it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it might have been fun for 5 seconds. I think that's also a thing when somebody doesn't like you. What I always used to tell my friends, and I'm telling the listeners now, if somebody doesn't like you, if you like someone and you're crushing on them and you're being flirty and you're being yourself and they don't like you back, it's not the right person. I think that's a really hard thing to swallow.
Yeah.
But it's if you're they thought I was too much, then it's okay, well then they aren't going to like you for who you are. Yep. So therefore they're not the right person. And the person that you like isn't the person you think they are.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to totally reshape yourself so that someone else is you're okay.
You should still, and then you should still smell good and stuff.
Well, yeah, hygiene. That's not what I'm talking about.
Or not it's you want to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. I've just often
found
that when you have a big crush on somebody, it's hard to be the best version of yourself because you're really nervous. And in my case, that just means you talk even more than I already do.
Which I know what you're thinking. Yeah,
it is possible. It is possible. Yeah. No, I bet I could go very long on this subject, so I'm not going to. You talking to me, Willis?
But no, but I'm curious for how you're going to end that.
But all I was going to say is that I think that I used to be worried about, like being too much or whatever. And I'm an acquired taste, some people.
I don't think that's true at all.
No,
I feel like you're actually pretty well liked.
I think you're
people
very
like
well liked.
me.
People love Will. And also, I think you're easy to like right away.
Yeah, I mean, I try that. I try to be. I just like, I feel more comfortable with myself, and that lowers the pressure. And I think when you're young and insecure, like it's especially if you have this huge crush on someone you've never talked to, you're not really interacting with them.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So that's my experience with that whole.
What's the Don
business.
Draper thing?
That's what the money is for.
No. Well, I guess I think it's from the same scene, but not the quote I was going
So
for.
close.
It's when he says, she's like, I don't even know what this. I didn't watch Mad Men,
Oh, it's a great show. You should
but
watch
I gotta get into it
I didn't
now.
watch it
Maybe
either.
It's a great show. You should. Now's a great time.
There's a scene where someone's like, "Well, don't you think I did a good job?" And he's like, "I don't think about you at all."
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like that's like your crush.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you're playing it out in your head. Like, well, I texted him this and that was weird and like blah blah blah. And like, I wonder if he thought I was singing this. And it's like probably the unfortunate truth is those people are just not even thinking about you.
And as you get older, I think people get better about being more explicit that they're into you. Like you're talking to somebody, you're like, I think this person might be into me. And it's like, yeah, they probably are.
Right. Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah, there's this TikTok.
It's not a mystery anymore,
Yeah, there's this TikTok that's like, I hate to break it to you, but your soulmate is going to want to date you. And I was like, damn.
That's damn true.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about right here,
Yeah.
baby. I think it's also, there's a really funny thing they have some TikToks is where these people who are like kind of vibey and airy are like, hey, if you're watching this, it's your sign that you've got to text your ex. And then people will duet it who look fucking crazy and they'll be like, hey, we're not talking, this isn't for you. You're like, if you're seeing this, we don't mean you.
On Twitter, you said that yesterday. It's time to text your ex.
Oh, yeah. No, on the Perfect Person account. Yeah. I said, happy Friday. Text your ex. Text your exes, sext your Texans, and then something else that rhymed with that.
Will, are you back on the apps?
No, not yet.
Whoa. Stay tuned, guys. Let's... You know daddy's gotta eat, okay? And I'm talking about eating that yum yum. I had a little meal kit and its name was Every Plate. And I'm here to tell you that it gave me the good recipe, but it also gave me the creative freedom and groceries to make what I wanted to make, and ain't nobody gonna tell me not to be a culinary genius. If you're looking to budget your food expenses this summer and get more bang for your bite, you're gonna want to check out America's Best Value Meal Kit. Every Plate is 25% cheaper than grocery shopping with no hidden fees, so you can count on the great value week after freaking week. I had the sriracha pork stir fry and it was to die for. It was super easy to make, and I really like to cook, but I don't have the mental fortitude right now to think of a recipe that I want to make. Thankfully, Every Plate's throwing delicious ones at me on the weekly, and I'm able to say, hey, that's gonna be sriracha pork stir fry, and it's gonna be what's for dinner. But everything's already portioned out to be easy to kind of toss in there. I don't have to think about how much garlic to use, because you know that I'm normally just gonna throw in too many cloves. Get $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and enter code PERFECT49. Get started with Every Plate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and enter code PERFECT49. That's up to $110 value, baby, and you're gonna want to be eating Every Plate. People may not know this, but I was a barista, and in my heyday, I was so good at being a barista that they told me they were gonna train me to go pro. And I said no, but then a different coffee shop tried to poach me because my latte was so good. We all have interesting parts of ourselves that not everyone gets to see. Kind of like what you keep in your underwear drawer, okay? So my barista thing is much like a panty that you'd wear. MeUndies is a celebration of what makes you who you are underneath it all. They know comfort better than anyone. From undies and socks to bold apparel like onesies and dog hoodies. You thought your dog needed a hoodie? Well, you thought correct. Here's a vouch for you. I don't have any other underwear. I've been getting MeUndies for years now, and just as I bust through them from wear and tear, because when I wear these things, I freaking wear them hard.
But just as I bust through them, I'm getting a fresh pack of underwear in the mail and I don't even have to think about it. MeUndies has transformed the underwear game and now they're entering their swimwear era. Ultra chlorine resistant, up UPF 50 plus for extra sun protection, sustainably sourced and imported under fair working conditions. Get more than just junk in your mailbox with a MeUndies membership. To get 25% off your first order plus free standard shipping, visit MeUndies.com/perfect-person. Remember, if you're not satisfied, your purchase is on MeUndies. That's 25% off your first order at MeUndies.com/perfect-person.
Let's get to the phone lines here. We've got to help the people get to where they need to go. And a big part of that is listening.
A huge part of it, even.
A huge part, to be honest. Okay, this is a call about deciphering a text message.
Okay.
Hi, Miles. So I drunkenly hooked up with a guy last weekend, and now I'm having a very hard time deciphering his text messages and where we stand at the moment. So open to any help or guidance you may provide.
I think we've all been there with text etiquette.
Yep.
It's hard to read, especially when there's like a dalliance with someone. And then it's like, oh, yeah, they said they were busy this week. But does that mean that they hate me? Or does that mean that they actually were busy?
Or did they die?
Or did they die? Which is
they haven't been really responsive. Maybe they've been replaced by an Android.
They've been replaced by a chat GPP. Chat PPP. Chat perfect person. For
Premium.
I wish.
Hello.
Hello. You called perfect person because you banged someone and you're not sure how the texts are going to come out in the wash. I'm Miles Bonsignore, host of the show, and I'm here.
Thanks for that.
And I'm here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao.
Okay, what's up?
They're trying to nail ciao.
This is our third try, and we haven't quite gotten it yet, but it's coming.
It's coming. But anyway,
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. Why don't you tell us about your situation?
Oh my God, I can't believe you actually called. Okay, so last weekend, I met someone out and about at like a street fair thing, and I don't remember this happening, but eventually we somehow made it back to my apartment. And after he left, we were texting a little bit, and he edited the text that he sent, but based off of the content of the differences between the two texts, I don't think he realizes that I can see the edit history. And I don't know why he changed what he changed.
You talking to me, Willis?
Oh my God.
So, whoa. Okay, got it. So we're going to definitely need to hear those texts.
Wait, can you change a text?
Yeah, you can edit a text, but you can, if you click on the edit, you can see what it was before. So it's not replacing it.
It's designed to be like, I made a bunch of typo. I made a typo. I'm going to fix it.
Yeah. But I think that it's a beginner move to think that you can't see the edit. Well, first of all, I need to know the quality and not quantity. The quality of the hookup. Was it fun and great and it left sort of like nice, or how did it end the next morning?
Yeah.
I mean, to be completely frank, I don't really remember a lot.
Got it, sure.
But things are a little hazy. But according to the original text he sent, I think I did a good job. And then he edited it. And I was a little offended. I don't know. It was okay. So the original text was, or the text I ended up getting was, it was like, I had a great night. Thanks for having me.
Is that verbatim? Is that verbatim what he said? Are you reading
Are
you reading? Yeah, we're gonna need to hear from.
Do I have to? Oh my God!
We're gonna need to hear.
I don't want to read the whole thing verbatim.
Oh, you gotta.
So you want to know the original text that he sent before?
Yeah, the original.
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
of course.
I'm excited.
Okay, it said I had an amazing night. Smiley face.
Nice.
Thank you for having me. Oh God, no! I'll just say
no.
The next part was a compliment for me, and my skills. What if he ever hears this? If he ever hears this, I will die. So I cannot.
Okay, got it.
Do you think he's likely to be a perfect person?
Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, but I'm terrified. I cannot believe you even called me. I don't know what gave me the audacity to do this.
So it was a sexual compliment.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the last sentence was an apology on his performance.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I know what happened here.
So
I know what happened here.
But did he say, and I guess, was the apology to paint the world that was it in a...
Here's the thing. What I'm guessing he was apologizing
We
for.
were very drunk.
Yeah, sure. I got it. We understand what happened.
And he was unable to finish or get it up.
Okay, well...
What?
Talking
Was
to me,
it
Willis?
Sorry.
was it reciprocal? Is what I want to know.
I was not disappointed. If anything, I was slightly impressed.
Okay.
But
Okay, got it. So it was sort of just, got it. It was a drunken affair, and you both enjoyed yourselves, but maybe there was some notes at the end.
Well, so speaking of notes, so what did he edit the text to say? Like he took out the sexual compliment and he...
okay, so first of all, why I'm offended is that it started with, I had an amazing night. And then he edited to, I had a great night. And I was like, whoa, hey now.
Oh.
What did I do to get demoted?
No.
No.
I know what
And
this
then
is.
the end was just, thank you for having me, so. I don't know.
So
why'd you take out everything? I don't know.
So that was, so hang on. So the first text said, I had an amazing night, sexual compliment, sexual apology. And the edited text said, I had a great night, sexual compliment, sexual apology.
No sexual comments at all. It was just, I had a great night. Thank you for having me. And that's all it said.
Okay, got it.
He took out all the sexual commentary.
Okay,
this guy loves you.
Yeah.
This guy literally loves you.
Yeah.
And he was doing that to not appear too forward.
I think so too.
To not say too much.
That's what I was going to say.
Overthinking it, yeah.
It's like I'm somebody who texts with a lot of exclamation points and I have to take them out because I find that like it's too much for people. And I'm like, everything is, and I'm like, I can't have 5 exclamation points. I gotta, take this down. And that's on business emails. That's on everything.
Yeah.
So I've got, and I think that he probably wrote, I had an amazing night. Like, you were really great too. And he was like, oh shit, that's too much. Like she's going to get spooked that I, something. So let me just take it away. And it's just had a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think like that's much more likely because when did he send the first text and like when did the edit happen? Like, you have the timestamps, I assume. Like how quickly did he edit it?
I mean, he edited it within like 5 minutes. I hadn't really opened it yet, but once I saw it was edited, I was like,
yeah, you gotta see.
Of course. Well, that makes sense. So if he did, this is just, it could be something else, but it seems to me like, he meant everything he said in the first one, then panicked that he had said too much because I think what you are taught in sort of hookup culture type stuff is that you're not supposed to act, more attached or whatever. You don't want to freak somebody out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if he knows how little you remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't even know his name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, goals. But no, I mean, I think that he probably just got worried that
he didn't want to come off like, oh, was I a creep? Like, he just was like, wants to be like, thank you.
Yeah, he wanted to just sort of give a hey, thank you.
Like, I don't think he was like, thinking back on it, it actually wasn't an amazing night. It was actually only a great night.
I would describe it as great. Thank you for your experience.
Like, that's not how a person behaves.
No, people are not robots unless he is.
Yeah, he could be a robot, I guess.
He could be an android.
We don't have
No,
enough
but like
information.
every text since then has been like very friendly. Like it doesn't even feel like flirting at all. And I'm like, are you?
Well, okay.
what is
Now I will
going
say
on?
men are not good at flirting via text. And I would say this includes me. This includes most men.
Well,
Miles is good at it.
I'll send, just a big old kissy winky.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. Men
Emojis are flirting.
I would say that I wouldn't put too much stock into is he just being friendly over text versus sexy, because I would think that this guy is like trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want, if you go by that logic, he doesn't want to be like, hey, even though that would be like fun. He's not sure where you guys stand either, is how I think of it.
I think he's not sure. Do you want to hang out with me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how he is more sober. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm trying to get a feel for him.
Is he hot? Look at his Instagram right now.
No, I don't know. I know his first name now. I don't know his last name. We met at a street. This was like at a street fair, like last weekend.
And he was fully just a stranger?
Yeah, like he bumped into my friend groups. He's new to the city or whatever, and
That's
then
great.
so we like invited him to join us. And then
This is great.
we
This is
went
really
to
great.
a couple bars after that. I mean, so I've heard. I don't know personally,
Yeah.
but yeah. And then I don't know how it happened, but my friends were like, he didn't seem too axe murdery, so we thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
I think that he probably would love to hang out again, especially if he's new to the city. He's
Yeah.
just
Yes.
trying to not freak
Yes.
you out.
Yeah, and like as somebody who has absolutely freaked people out before by being like, I really like, like even if you don't say you really like somebody, like you're just like conveying it with everything you do, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm 23, whatever.
Right.
Like when I was younger, that was a big problem for me. I would
Yeah.
say.
You didn't know how to communicate. Well, here's what I'll say. I think what you got to do is say, hey, wine and cheese tonight.
There it is. Can't say no to that.
Can't say no. He can't say no to
He,
that.
he could though.
Legally, he cannot.
Well,
I don't know. He probably could.
But you know what? If you do it, then you'll know. 'Cause
but
if he
you don't have to
says
do
no-
it tonight.
No, it's going to be
It
tonight.
doesn't have to be tonight.
Saturday night prime
Just
time.
make a plan. Say, hey, like you could say, hey, I had fun, but I don't remember a ton of it. I'd love to hang out again. You know?
I've got a bottle of Shiraz and a Gouda.
I'd be like, can you give me a nice recap?
Yeah. Like,
Whoa, recap is kind of a hot way
That's
to
kind
phrase
of a
it.
hot. Yeah, why don't you give me a recap? We'll open up a bottle of Pinot and a little bit of that mortadina.
Oh my God.
So I think that, yeah, in terms of our take, he likes you, but
Probably.
he doesn't want to freak you out.
No, he definitely.
I don't know if he who knows? It's so new.
but you
I
guys are
would
pretty
hang
young,
out.
I'm imagining, just from the tenor of this conversation.
Well, that's something else. Is that
Oh no.
he's a minute younger than me.
Oh.
That's fine. How old are you
And
and how old
so,
is he?
like, I don't want to give too many revealing details, but there's potentially a difference of 7 to 9 years. I don't know his age exactly, but I know he's a legal drinking adult.
Okay, got it. Then that's totally fine.
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't
fine.
matter. That doesn't
I
matter.
would also say though, like men that young, I feel like not all of them are ready to like fully commit, and a lot of people are like afraid to do that or whatever. But I just think if you keep it chill, like I think that all signs point to he definitely wants to hang out again.
Yeah,
And
invite him out.
like to me,
Yeah, I'm
go
just
out
trying to
da-
keep things chill anyway.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that you guys need to have, well, you don't need to, but I would
Yeah.
recommend like going to a bar, having a drink or two, getting a recap, and then being like talk explicitly about what you want.
Also, I think a nice way to soft serve this ice cream style is to say, me and my friend, and this is, I'm always giving this advice, but me and my friends are at this bar. You should come by.
Oh yeah.
Much
solid.
safer than, do you want to go on a one-on-one date with me? Well, yeah, because it's like a one-on-one date. It has a lot more pressure than just like, hey, me and my friends are hanging out at this thing. You should come by.
I agree with you, but I think if you've had sex with somebody, it shouldn't be too much pressure to have.
I've hooked up with people and it's like to get enough, especially if it's like a spontaneous, like spur of the moment thing. You meet someone out, you enjoy this experience, and then it's like in the cold light of day, you're like, oh, I now am calculating more than I normally would. I think that it is much less intimidating to be like, there's this hangout.
No,
going
I agree.
on.
It's less intimidating, 100%. I'm just saying, like, it also just sort of depends on how you want to do it. But like, I would encourage you to at some point have a conversation about what you're both are interested in. Because if like. I think that's a big part of making this kind of thing work.
Doing it earlier is always gonna like have less hurt.
If he's younger and is like, I'm trying to sow my wild oats, like, whatever. And
Or if
that
he's
works for
obsessed
you.
with you and he's like, oh my gosh, this cool older woman, like,
and you're like, oh, I don't like that. Like, you have to figure out where you're at. But I think that like clearly communicating what you want at this moment and seeing where he's at is like the obvious next step. And you could do that after you have sex again. like you could, it's smarter to do it before, but you could absolutely do it after. Where you're not like,
no, that's interesting. If I hooked up with somebody once and the next time I hung out with them, they were like, hey, so what are you looking for from a relationship?
100%.
I would be.
If they're like, I'm just so you know, I want something casual instead of like, what do you want? I think flagging like I want something casual is good to do.
It's more like,
I guess that's true.
Because you don't have to be like, you don't have to be like, what are we? And
No,
it's like,
that's
we've
what I
hooked
mean,
up
like-
drunkenly once. I don't know your last name.
And it wasn't a date too. Like they hooked up drunkenly once, and it wasn't a date. So I think it's like if you're trying to keep it cash, the group hang can work. But anyway, hey, how's this resonating? All right, so you're interested in pursuing just like let's hang out one more time just to see what's what?
Yeah, Yeah. Just like casually, I'd hang out with him again. Yeah. But like,
so-
I would not like a dating thing.
You should marry him. But thanks for calling in. And yeah, definitely text him. I think he likes you.
Yeah.
He has a crush.
Well, thanks for calling in. You have a fantastic evening. And yeah, be well.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ciao.
You too, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.
I'm not good.
That was our worst one.
That might have been the worst one. I wasn't ready for it. I'll be ready on the next call.
All right.
That was bad.
I was picturing her. I was picturing her in New Orleans.
Oh, that could be nice. Shrimp.
Crawdads. Reese Witherspoon.
I would love a big bag of boiled shrimp today.
You want to go to the one?
Boiling crab?
Yeah.
Oh my God, do I?
I've never been. I'd like
my
to go
mouth's
sometime.
watering. My mouth's watering, Will.
Mine is too.
I love. Remember we went to Boiling Crab for lunch and it was like too much.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You were there, right?
Yeah, I do. Remember that. That was a lot.
We went and we were kind of like, this was a weird choice for lunch. Like once we got our hands in there, and it was sort of like several pounds of shrimp.
And you had to declaw like all of them.
And we were all like, this would have been better maybe after work.
It was like a 3-hour ordeal, and we came back and we were like,
I like have a ton of work to do that I didn't do. And we're covered in sauce now.
Yeah.
Okay, gang. Well, let's get into another call here. Oh, interesting.
Hi, Miles. My neighbor fucking hates me, so please help. Thank you.
Probably the shoes clonking.
Well, I know you've dealt with clonking. Any updates from the clonker?
Yeah. What's updates from Horse World? Horse.com.
Horse World.
Horse.com.
Horse.com. Yeah, what is updates?
Have you interacted with your not housemate? What's the word? Guy who lives in the apartment near you, who's kind of into you, seemingly.
Neighbor.
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Will, really good work.
Actually,
yeah,
I've got a text message that we could analyze.
Oh
from
my
him.
gosh! Text. This is our special segment. Text analyst.
Let's see.
Really good name.
Better name we need. We're looking for. We're looking for a better one.
You know,
What?
So I post the Chuck E. Cheese plug photo.
Yeah.
Natty plug.
And
different.
Okay. I don't like the voice that just came out.
Natty plug.
Natty plug.
And this is again the neighbor. Thanks for the word.
Yeah.
The neighbor that has a crush on you and responds to every single one of your stories.
Yeah, and he says, "I have never been to Chuck E. Cheese. Is it palatable?" And I was like, "Definitely not. I mean, it was cleaner than I thought it would be, but like empty, kind of weird." He says, "Empty." Held myself back from making a horrendous joke just now.
Oh.
Yeah. Then I say, I don't even want to know. And he says, I would rather see your reaction in person.
Yeah, this guy has. You say he lives with his girlfriend.
This guy has a psychosexual fixation on you, Rainie.
Oh my God.
And I'm not a doctor.
What does that
but
word even mean?
Psychosexual. Let's break that down. Psycho.
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
Sexual.
Oh, now I get it.
No, psychosexual means like, it's like connected to sex, but it's all in your brain. I don't have a good definition of it.
He's got a weird. That's a strange thing, Rainie.
What was the joke, do you think?
I don't even care. I don't know. Things get dirty at the Chuck E. Cheese, probably, because all the dirt stays empty and dirty.
Yeah, but he has like a foster dog right now. Also, there's no dogs in our apartment allowed. So
he's a secret
Rainie,
dog.
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm nervous.
Here we go.
So you say you're
talking to me, Willis?
This guy responds to all of your stories, and you have at least in the past posted stories about this podcast, but you don't think he listens. He's not going to listen to an hour-long show.
Yeah, Rainie sort of operates under the assumption that everything we do happens in the moment and only for the moment, and forgets that we're being recorded on most of the interactions.
100%, yeah.
Where she's gossiping.
Yeah. I also can't really imagine. Here's the thing about men, Will. I don't know if you know this.
We has a girlfriend, right? So it doesn't,
They're just not going to be doing that homework. I have not found.
Whoa, men don't do homework.
Okay. So we're calling this woman about her neighbor.
No.
You talking to me, Willis?
What's up? You called perfect person, and we are here to call you back. I'm Miles Bonsignore, host of the show, and I'm here with the Wrecking Ball crew.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Now,
Ciao. Wow, this is the closest I've ever been to cardiac arrest.
Hell yeah.
Be careful. Don't have cardiac symptoms, please. But I am.
Ciao. I'm going to Italy on Monday.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Home birth, the birthplace of the Wrecking Ball crew.
Do you have something? Do you have a word that we can incorporate? Like, because that's the only Italian word I know.
What about arrivederci?
I know Bella.
What about
Beautiful.
pizza?
Pasta.
Yeah, that's so funny. My dad and I were trying to practice. We were in the car today and we were trying to practice some words.
And how'd it go?
Yeah. Really bad.
I'll say buongiorno. You could say my name, Bonsignore.
That doesn't mean anything.
It does. It means good sir.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
It doesn't mean
Last
anything.
name.
Oh, yeah, you don't mean anything. Well, anyway,
Oh my God.
caller, it's so nice to hear your voice. Tell us what's going on with your neighbor.
Okay, first of all, can you call me McLovin?
McLovin. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, so my neighbor hates me so much. Yes, I know. So, can I tell a brief story just for like context?
Of course. What if I was like, no?
Okay.
What if I was like, no? Okay, so here's what you should do. No, I would love to hear about your neighbor, and I want to know why they hate you and what you've done and what the feud's about, and also what you want from the situation.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I love old people.
Same.
Like you caught me knitting. Like I'm an old gal.
Sure.
I'm 21, but like,
You're an old
and
soul.
so I'm throwing this birthday party, right, at my apartment. I live alone, and there's this old ass lady next to me, and I'm like, we could be best friends. Like, we could literally be besties. Like,
Got it. So this fucking old ass idiot,
this old hag next to you.
You're like, we could be best friends, but she is melting. Actually,
I've lived there about a month, maybe a little more. And I'm like, I'm just gonna have 8 people over, throw this little birthday party.
Yeah.
I throw it. It's like relatively fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty loud. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm really into my records. I have a record player. I have my whole setup. I like to set that up. But they wanted to use the speaker, and I was like, okay, I have all these records. But no, get the JBL clip rolling out. And so we use that. They leave. And my best friends also live on this hall too.
Oh,
so
cool.
I have friends. My best friends live on this hall.
Nice.
It rules. I love them. But this old lady lives in between us. So it's me, old lady, and then my best friends. So that's gotta suck for her.
Yeah.
We're just running back and forth between.
Yeah, we have some clues as to why your neighbor might hate you.
I think I have. You've
I'm
noted
not
a couple
coming
of
Sherlock
things.
Holmes, but I think your neighbor thinks you're loud and annoying.
Yeah, Watson. Look at the evidence.
Okay, I'm so quiet. I'm actually, besides that, like, I'm a wholesome gal. Like,
Yeah, you're knitting now.
It was a one night.
Yeah.
It was a one night party where you were.
It was a
playing
one-night
records. Got it. So I
Yeah.
think that probably. And what did she say? What did she say to you? Did she mention anything to you? Like, hey, that was loud.
Oh, Miles and Rainie and Will. Everyone leaves. I'm relatively obliterated, and I hear a tiny little knock on my door, and I look. Yeah, thank you for the audio of that.
Of course.
And I peer through the peephole, and I see 3. You know how it's like distorted?
Yeah.
3 cops.
Oh, no.
Whoa. 3 cops.
There's no reason for that.
So she called a noise complaint instead of coming to talk to you directly about it? And then it took the cops a while to get there?
Yes.
Got it. And then the cops said what? Hey, we got a noisy. But it seems like it's
this
over.
is actually really bad. Instead of confronting the issue, I hid in the closet.
I get that.
I'm sorry, I'm
knocks
sorry, I'm
on my
not
door,
laughing
I'm
at
hiding
you.
in the
So
closet.
you
It's just
saw-
a really funny thing
So
to
you
do.
saw the cops and said, actually, I'm going to be in the closet for this.
Like, you weren't doing anything illegal.
I
You're 21.
You're 21, right? Right.
She said she was.
That's a negative.
Oh, okay. So we were lied to earlier in the story. Okay,
now we would never condone underage drinking on this show, but
we
seems
have.
like
I'm 21 now.
Hey, you're 21
I'm
now.
21 now.
Oh, okay, got it. You were 20 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You were 20
This
at
was
the time.
almost a year ago.
Okay, got it. So got it. You had this party and the cops came, you hid in the closet, nothing happened. They never
The cops came. I called. My best friends were back at their little place, like a 30-second walk away down the hall, and then they confronted the cops and got them to leave.
That's nice.
Okay, that's great. So it seems like nothing really came of that. And recently, what have you been concerned with your neighbor? Has there been any developments? Or are you what do you want from the situation? Do you want to just sort of ease and cool everything down?
Well, it's just so awkward.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, it's so awkward because I will go to the elevator. She'll get in the elevator, realize it's me, and get out.
Oh. Okay, so
I'll walk her way, and she'll walk my way. And it's like a game of chicken. And one time we almost ran into each other because neither of us moved out of the way.
So you're demanding this old woman move out of the way.
You better move out of my way, toots. I mean, so I'm gonna give you a real truth bomb here. All right, old people don't have time because they're at the end of their lives. But I think that this is going to be now. She probably look. If I was living in an apartment and a bunch of 20-year-olds were having a party, and I'm 29 now, and I was living next door, and it was really, really loud, I would be annoyed. Would I call the cops? Absolutely not, because I don't believe in that type of thing.
I would say that I have a really high tolerance for like noise. I would just at a certain point, if I'm trying to sleep,
I was like, hey, could you?
I would go knock on the door. I did that at one point at my old neighbor's house in Koreatown, and he was, I think, dancing with his friend. Maybe they were having sex. I don't know. He was. I didn't really know him. And I'm in my bathrobe. I walk next door and I'm like, can you please keep it down? And he's like, is it the music? I'm like, yes, it's the music.
Yeah.
It's obviously the fucking music. You're blasting it.
Honestly, a good way to do it, if this is a pro tip for, honestly, your neighbor, but if you bring over a bottle of liquor or something, not to a bunch of kids, but like if you bring over a little gift, like, hey, I had this, I know you guys are partying, and also could you just keep it down a little bit because I'm trying to sleep. That kind of like,
that's a nice way to diffuse the tension.
Being
of
like,
it. Yeah.
hey, like, I totally get it. I've been there. I'm just trying to sleep because I had a thing in the morning. But like, here's this, and just lower the music just a little bit. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, and like,
that's a really good idea.
It really is. I think that this woman should have, because if she had knocked on your door, you would have been.
She hands you a blunt.
You guys would have.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Toke up, guys. I gotta fucking. I gotta go to the blood bank in the morning, but.
Should the title of this episode be "Smoking a Blunt with My Old Neighbor Who Hates Me"?
Yeah, that's not bad, honestly.
No, it's too long. It's too long.
A blunt smoking with a 90-year-old.
That's not what happens in the episode.
Okay, so here's my thing about what you should be doing. Now, I think that you were in the wrong.
I agree.
Yeah, you guys were too loud.
Yeah.
Like, which by the way, every young person's party is like this. This is how it goes.
Have you ever said, "Hey, sorry, it was loud"?
Okay, well, this is what happened. One of my friends, she's got that Catholic school amazing cursive handwriting.
Yeah.
And we wrote her a letter.
Oh, that's
we wrote
great.
her a letter.
That's great.
Oh, good.
Okay.
And we said, hey, we're so sorry about the noise. Next time, like, we gave three of our phone numbers.
That's really good.
That's good. Yeah, okay.
And this old coot didn't text you, did she?
No. And all of these strange interactions keep happening afterward.
Yeah, so I think here's what you got to do. You gotta double down and know that, especially I found with people that are older, there is not much you can do to change her behavior because she's set in her ways.
Totally.
She's older. So all you can do is control how you input information into the situation. If you see her coming down the hall and you're walking, say hi.
You should absolutely start saying hi.
Say hi, like, hey, how's it going?
Oh my God.
How's your Saturday? Whatever. If you get in the elevator, hi, how are you doing? I'm just going. Like, share information about your life. Honestly, too, fucking baked goods. If you've got brownies, if you've got cookies, whatever, and leaving them outside her door, you really have to sort of generate a relationship here, almost to the point where she's wondering, oh, what was I mad about? Like that was so
Yeah.
long ago that I don't even remember. And like now we've moved on. But it is on you. It's on you to do it though, because like if she's older and she was wronged in a way, and like yeah, she got the letter. She may have forgotten that she got the fucking letter.
She
like,
might not be able to read cursive.
It's also honestly that is tricky.
It's really hard.
But, you know, but if she's old, that's all they used to write. They used to have,
true.
like, cursive
That's
used to
her
be a big
own-
important part of being like
Oh, you're
in
always
the
talking
world.
about this, yeah.
Well,
You should go to Will's blog first. Cursive actually is good.
no, I'm not. I'm anti-cursive.
I
Fuck
am too.
cursive.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Kids
for
don't
me.
even learn it anymore.
And
because
they
have
don't
their,
need
their
to
iPhones, man.
tap, tap, tap.
But I think that it's on you to. It's also, and I think this is actually a lesson for the future. It can be scarier, if you've messed something up, to talk to that person in person, especially if it's a neighbor situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have found it is always better.
Oh, definitely.
It is
better.
always. People are easy. It's easier to understand if you knocked on our door and we're just like, "Hey, we're so sorry we were loud. We totally get it. We're gonna keep it down. Here's my phone number.
Yep.
And also, like, we brought you a blunt or whatever.
Yeah, blunt or some brownies.
Blunt and some fucking pop brownies.
yeah.
But we just want to know also if you need anything from us ever,
Yeah.
or like if you have a package you need brought in, just let us know.
Yeah.
Like that is on you as the younger person in a building full of older people.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's like, you know, I get that can be annoying in a buzzkill or whatever, but you just have to, it's all you can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know why I'm having this vision, but I feel like the most positive version of what could come out of this is like you do befriend her enough. You do everything Miles says. You talk to her in person. You start, you know, trying to connect with her on just a slight basis, not like, you know, too much. Maybe eventually you guys start you make TikToks about your journey as friends, you know?
Old lady
Oh my
TikToks, they would go
God.
viral
Yeah.
as hell. And then
Like-
she dies and she gives you all her money.
And you make a TikTok of
that'd
weeping,
be
but
big.
like covered in jewels.
yeah. Weeping, covered in
That's so
jewels.
tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That probably won't happen for you. You guys will probably continue to ignore each other, but I do think what
No,
Miles
don't
is,
ignore.
Yeah.
Say hi.
I think you should say hi, and I think that going up in person, like obviously it's been a while since you guys were loud, and she probably just like has this distaste for you. But I think if you
Yeah.
prove like, no, I'm wholesome and friendly, and you like
Yeah.
you said, you like old people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
I love old people. Yes.
don't tell
Yeah.
her that. I don't think that's gonna land.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my uncle has this thing where it's like in conflict or in a time when it's like you feel like you're giving more or like you have to do more than the other person. It's like you just have to think about like your values and who you want to be and then act on those. Because if you don't, then like later on, you're just going to feel like bad about yourself because you're like, oh, well, I wasn't kind. I wasn't like thoughtful. And even though it's frustrating that like she isn't reciprocating, it's just as easier to swallow in the long run.
It's also sort of the thing of
Yes.
if you're someone that is, it's the same idea as, and I've been this person before, being, thinking to myself, I'm not invited to anything. People aren't inviting me to stuff.
Right.
And the answer is not to wallow. The answer is to invite others to a thing and generate your own thing. And then by doing that, they are going to have things and invite you.
Yeah.
And I think that for this, it's with kindness with neighbors. If your neighbors aren't being kind to you and you're like, why are they not being kind to me? You have to start with the kindness so it
Right.
starts off the train where she's going to start feeling comfortable.
I also will say that, like, worst case scenario, she doesn't like you still, but like you feel better.
Yeah. No, exactly.
That's fine. Like,
you can only
if
control
you've
yourself.
made the gestures and she refuses your olive branch, your weed, your blunt branch, and I really do think you should give her a nice blunt. But I think if she does, like, then you can live knowing, okay, well, we did something that every young person does, which is have too loud of a party. Literally, I feel like all of us have definitely done this. Like, there's no way to be even remotely interesting and not like get a noise complaint called on you.
Yeah.
At least at one point in your life.
Oh my God! Wait, my dad, come here.
Oh yes, bring your dad on.
Dad, I'm on the podcast I was telling you about.
Hi, Dad.
Yes.
How's it going, Dad?
I'm on the podcast. The one where he was jeffing it.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Dad. You listened to the Jeffing episode?
No, I told them about it. But ciao. I'm telling you, that we were practicing.
Yeah, right on.
Oh my God.
Right on, Dad.
I heard you guys are going to Italy. Do you have any Italian to teach us?
Yeah, we're just boning up on the language right now. We've got some catching up to do. We leave on Monday.
Absolutely. I've been to Italy a couple times, and I got to tell you, no one said this, but you got to have some of that pasta.
Thanks. That's the first we've heard of that.
Thank you for humoring Miles with your laughter.
Thank you for laughing at my
Tell
very
me more
dumb
about this pasta that you speak of.
So apparently there's a tomato. It's a sauce.
Did you know the tomatoes from the New World? It wasn't introduced to Italy until like.
All right, here we go on a history podcast. But thanks for calling in. I do appreciate it, and you have the best time in Italy.
Oh my gosh, we will. Okay. Well, I'll be better to my neighbor.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right.
Ciao.
That one, we got it.
Dude. You really nailed that one.
That was by far the best one we've done.
Yeah, that was a good ciao for sure.
There was an echo in the room. There's a reverb because it just all the voices.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I like that. First of all, I do think your comedy stylings are funny, but it's funny to hear someone who does not have an attachment to you like react, and he laughed, and it was totally genuine. I was making fun of that moment, but he genuinely did laugh.
That's right. Dads tend to like me sometimes. I actually always was good with fathers.
But now your wife has two moms.
Yeah, she's two moms. Well, I've always been good with moms.
Yeah.
For dads can be a little more difficult because there's just a weird like thing with dads, but well, let's get into the final segment of the show. A segment we like to call Get Real.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yep.
Do you feel, because you often joke about getting laid off at BuzzFeed,
Oh, sure.
do you feel failure with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a necessary thing to happen.
Yeah.
But I do feel failure for that. Although it also, so I got laid off from BuzzFeed. For those who may not know that, I worked at BuzzFeed for 3 months, and then I got promoted. Worked for another 3 months. It was a fellowship. So I did the junior fellowship and then the senior fellowship. I made a bunch of videos. And my videos all did really, well, not all, but I had a bunch of videos that hit.
Yeah.
And out of the class of people that did those videos, I was in the top of the class for my videos performance.
Okay.
And when I say I got laid off, it's because the fellowship ended, but typically they hire from the fellowship. And they didn't this time. They didn't hire anybody, but they extended 3 people's contracts.
Okay.
And some of the people who got extended, their videos performed markedly less than my videos performed. So I did feel failure because I felt like I was like, oh, I did everything that I was supposed to do, and it didn't work out. And I think that was difficult for me at the time.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I was like, I was liked in this program.
Right.
I was nice to everybody. I did good work. My videos did pretty well.
Right.
And I still didn't, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think that was difficult for me at the time.
That is tough. I mean, this isn't the same thing at all, but my big dream when I was in college was to work in public radio, work for This American Life, as we talked about. Ira Glass, not that rich. And
there's no way that's true.
Also, Ira Glass, a subtitle, not that rich, is a crazy subtitle for Ira Glass.
Yeah, right. He's on the news. It's
so famous.
Ira Glass, not that rich.
I'm sorry. I'm failing to get
That's
real
his
here.
legacy.
But my dream was to, in This American Life had a really well-paid internship in New York. You get $3,000 a month, which to me was that's a crazy amount of money. But for New York, I think what it was is they'd have one person that they'd fill, and more than 500 people apply or whatever, and they want to make sure the staff is paid okay because this is going to be a real job. And I did not have the credentials to do it, and I applied, didn't get it, and was like, well, that's the end of that dream.
No,
and
yeah, sure.
I don't know if that's a failure or not.
There's something also that's so cutting about a job. I interviewed, I've told you about this before, but I interviewed for a job at College Humor, and I got really close, and it was down to me and one other person, that I didn't get it. And I was right out of college, and I did feel shame from that too. I felt oh, if I had just whatever, I would have gotten it.
Yep.
And I think the answer is just having hired people like Rainie, but for Try Guys stuff, having looking through applicants, and it really is just so little of it has to do with somebody being not enough.
Yeah.
And it more is just oh, this is an obvious culture fit, and we like whatever.
Well, and I knew that I didn't even really have the resume, so I shouldn't even be that disappointed.
Right.
I know that there are people who had just done way more of the kind of work, and so of course they're gonna hire that person. Why would they hire me?
Do you feel failure of not getting the job or of giving up?
I set my sights on other things that I have not given up on, but there is a part of me that's I did give up pretty easily. Like, I think it's fine to give up, by the way. I think quitting is a reasonable thing to do. Yeah. And many times in your life, it's going to be the right choice. There's the sunk cost fallacy of like how much work you've already put in. But there are times where you step back and you're like, I'm going to quit this thing. And it's going to be worth it.
That's interesting because I think that my perspective on quitting and on failure and stuff like that is typically if you have a passion or an ideology, you never...
Like communism?
Like communism. Like knitting.
Okay.
You never have to quit. But you just have to adjust your expectations for how that is going to be a part of your life. I think that's especially true with being an artist, being a writer, being a creative.
Yeah.
You never have to quit. Like, I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, I'm going to quit because this isn't working out and it's making me miserable and I'm just going to quit and go to fucking business school.
Yeah, but
don't think about it.
If working out is only financial terms, it's like that you're limiting yourself.
Completely. And it's also like, you don't have to quit. Just go to business school if that's what you feel like you need to do. But
don't go to business school.
Right? That would suck for me too. But it's like, be an artist. In your life, you are an artist. If you're consuming art and you are thinking about making art, you are an artist. There's a million different ways to be an artist. Yep. You do not have to.
You can be an artist and not make any money from it. And that's a legit thing to do.
Right. And labeling yourself as a failure sometimes, even though obviously we all feel like failures sometimes, of course I do. But I think that when you label yourself as having like failed at a career or failed at a passion, you're only, once you treat yourself like that, you're definitely not going to.
You're creating a psychic burden for yourself to carry around. Like you're saying, I failed, I fucked up, it's definitive. And
you talking to me, Willis?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, that's something that can drag you down,
Definitely.
So no, my answer is not as deep as Miles, I think, because the failure, that professional failure, whatever you want to call it, lack of success, not really a failure. It all worked out. That's the thing. I think in the moment things can be more crushing, and then with time you look back and you're like,
Have you had a moment like that? I mean, yeah.
Well, I still feel failure about. So I interned at National Public Radio with How I Built This, and I started January and the pandemic hit in March, and they went on a hiring freeze. But then How I Built This and the TED Radio Hour, there's pretty similar teams, and they hired the TED Radio Hour intern. But it was a similar thing where I was like, I didn't think, like, there was a lot of like gossip about him. Like I was like, wait, he beat me, like,
Sure.
and I mean, I think like his predecessor had just left, so it's like maybe it was that. But I think, like, honestly, like I think I showed up late to work, and like I think that's where the failure comes in, where I'm like, I don't know if I was good enough. I also like was just getting organized. It was like a pretty intense internship. I think they've changed it now, but I was getting, like, the week that we left was the first week that I had like gotten things done early, just because it was like a huge learning curve. It's a high pressure place.
Right.
And I think I just feel like a ton of like I wasn't good enough, and like I could have gotten hired, and like they chose not to.
And honestly, that reminds me of when I interned at Seth Meyers. I felt the same way.
Oh, really?
I felt like it was really cutthroat. I mean, that's also a tough internship because, I mean, I liked it and I worked with a lot of great people, but pretty much minus like one or two people, everyone else in my intern class, they were producers' kids. Yep. They were celebrities' kids. They were people that had connections, and I didn't. The only reason I got in is because the receptionist was in my screenwriting program and he had graduated. And when he was hiring, he always also took applicants from the screenwriting program at UNC. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, still some sort of, nepotism, obviously, but I was like, I'm just a guy. My parents are teachers. I don't have any connection to industry at all. This is my first industry job. Yeah. And then after it ended, all of my connections dissolved, and I tried to reach out to people from that world, and I felt like such an outsider. And I think that because I was like, wait, these people all got hired in the Page program at NBC and whatever, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I guess I'm just some guy from North Carolina, and that really did affect me, and was a huge bummer. But I think that, I mean, I don't know. I do feel like that world, I never really understood. It's very cutthroat. Right. It can be very high intensity. Right. And I don't understand that. And I don't get it. And I don't like it. And I really like the environment that like we've been able to foster at the podcast department and stuff like that. And I think it is because ideologically, what it brings me joy is
Right.
creativity and being able to also know that we're just making podcasts here.
That's not life and death.
It's not life
Yep.
and death.
Yeah.
And, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a. I feel like the times I feel much more confident now as an adult in terms of my competency than I have, but that took a long time.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how long do you think it took before you were like feeling more before the rejection wore off for both of them?
I mean, years and years and years and years. Because I like sometimes some of the people from my intern class would come into the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And it was like that feeling of, oh, I'm the help. I'm like the person that works in food service, and all of these people who I used to be in an intern class with have surpassed me.
Yeah, and the unfortunate truth is that the easiest way to make it in show business in any capacity is just to be either born rich or related to people in show business,
and
which means being born rich also.
And I have a lot of really talented, really creative friends, but if you have a leg up, it is just easier.
Yeah.
And I think that I was actually just talking to Jay about this, but friend of the show. But I was like, look, man, like we have a big group of networks of friends, lots of amazing, wonderful people that are super talented. And not all of them have these legs up, but there's a lot of invisible legs up. And I was like, look, man, we're two boys from North Carolina. We have to, and also like we're white dudes. So it's like, we have to work hard. Everyone who is any sort of racial minority or a woman has to work even harder. And it's just like when we're at parties and people are like bragging about the shit that they're doing, just know in your head, like, oh, this is who we are. We are not from this world. So we have to work harder to be a part of it. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're listening to the show and you're feeling like you're so outside of an industry you want to be in, I think especially entertainment is this way. Just know that like you will have to work hard, but you're also going to have a perspective that people don't have.
Oh yeah.
And that like
for sure.
you're going to be able to tell stories, or you're going to be able to do whatever. And I think that's just true unilaterally. If there's something that feels gatekept because it's like this serious world full of people who are like, oh, well, we take taxis to the event. That's how we get there. And it's like in your head, you're thinking, how the fuck am I going to afford a taxi?
Yeah.
Just know that there is another way to get to the event. Or like, there's always, I just always run into that. People will be like, well, of course, we'll just take a cab.
Yeah.
And being like,
Rainie, get a massage.
yeah, right.
Somebody told me that once. I was
like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you think that's my priority right now? Yeah.
People who are rich and are necessarily out of touch. It just is how it goes. Of course, because when you're like, when you have money to pay for a taxi, you don't think about that some people might not. Like you should.
It really wowed me.
But
like at first, I was just like, the fucking anyway, everybody, Wrecking Ball crew, obviously, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Always so fun.
AKA the Baguette Sisters.
The Baguette.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even lean into that.
Well, no, that's just a name Miles gave us that the commenters like.
Okay,
so
next time though, we gotta bring baguette, brie, and jam.
Oh my god!
By the way, I'm getting hungry.
I am hungry too. I haven't eaten anything today.
I'm really pretty hungry.
Our blood sugar's low.
I wanted to also give a shout out to the person who recognized me from Perfect Person. Half a block from my home.
Huge shout out.
I'm bleary-eyed wearing my Try-Guy sweatpants. I have a big hole in them. And at the end of our interaction, I gave her sort of an awkward handshake. Anyway,
handshook.
Shout out to Justine.
Justine, big fucking shout out.
Yeah.
Where's the hole, Will?
It's on the thigh.
So tomorrow we're going to the Galleria.
Yeah, you need.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I committed to go shopping with you.
And speaking of clothes, if you want to get the merch is out. You can click the link below in the description on the podcast store or on the YouTube.
Show them the back. Oh wait, you already did.
I already did.
Because the back is really cool too.
Show that.
Show them that back.
And where can the people find you, Rainie?
It's Rainie Toll on Instagram, Rainie Toll on TikTok, the artist formerly known as and on Twitter, Rainie Toll.
And Rainie's TikTok is popping off right now.
Well, there's a comment that said, "Well, you got to hand it to her. She found a format." And now I'm feeling insecure.
No, that person is fucking jealous. And that's how TikTok works. You have to find a format. That's like literally the only reason that people come back is because you find a format.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
and yes, you can follow me at WWhitwer on Instagram and on Twitter. And big post coming September 5. I have come up with the ending of the big post. It's like the Sistine Chapel. It's gonna be gorgeous. It's gonna be beautiful. Everyone is gonna get it. No one's gonna be confused. No one's gonna be unhappy. People are going to freak out.
Creative is locked in.
The creative is locked.
Creative is locked. Honestly, that's a t-shirt. The creative is locked.
That's really good. I would definitely buy that.
All right, everyone. You can follow the Instagram account for information about how to call into the show. And until next time, remember, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're sipping on, perfection is only a call away.
Ciao!
That was a Headgum podcast.